Kindness is often seen as one of the highest virtues, a quality that we are encouraged to embody from a young age. It's the act of giving without expecting anything in return, of helping others when they need it most, and of always showing compassion to those around us. But as admirable as kindness is, there is a danger when it becomes boundless, when we give and give without limits or consideration for our own well-being. This is where burnout begins to creep in. Burnout doesn't happen overnight. It starts small, often unnoticed, when we say yes to one more request, take on one more task, or go out of our way to help one more person, even when we are already stretched thin. We tell ourselves that kindness is important, that being there for others is what makes us good people. But what we often overlook is the fact that being endlessly kind without setting boundaries can deplete us emotionally, mentally, and physically. Over time, this can lead to exhaustion, stress, and even resentment. The truth is, we are all human, and as much as we may want to be there for everyone, we cannot pour from an empty cup. We have our limits, and it's essential to recognize that. The more we say yes to others, the more we say no to ourselves. The more we sacrifice our own needs for the sake of others, the more we run the risk of losing our sense of self. We may feel the pressure to always be the helper, the fixer, the listener, or the shoulder to lean on. But the reality is that in doing so, we can inadvertently neglect our own health and happiness. This is where the concept of boundaries becomes critical. Boundaries are not walls, they are lines that define where our responsibilities end and where others begin. They are the invisible lines that allow us to protect our energy and our emotional well-being. Boundaries allow us to be kind and giving, but in a way that doesn't cost us our peace. It's not about being unkind, it's about being kind to ourselves first so that we can continue to give in a sustainable and meaningful way. When we fail to set boundaries, we risk burnout in many forms. Mentally, it's the constant feeling of being overwhelmed, as though we're juggling too many things at once. We may find ourselves unable to focus or to give our best effort to anything because we're spread so thin. Emotionally, we may feel drained, unable to find joy or satisfaction in our relationships or activities. Physically, the stress of constantly giving to others without taking time to rest and recharge can manifest in fatigue, sleep disturbances, and even illness. Burnout doesn't just affect one aspect of our lives, it affects everything. The pressure to always be kind and helpful can also cause us to neglect our own goals and desires. We may put our personal projects, passions, or dreams on hold because we feel obligated to prioritize others' needs. Over time, this can lead to a sense of resentment, not only towards those we are helping, but also towards ourselves. We begin to feel as though we've lost control of our lives and are living for the benefit of others rather than for our own fulfillment. One of the most challenging aspects of setting boundaries is the guilt that often accompanies it. We may fear that by saying no, we are being selfish or unkind. But the truth is, setting boundaries is one of the kindest things we can do, not just for ourselves, but for others as well. When we are well-rested, emotionally balanced, and at peace with ourselves, we are better equipped to offer genuine kindness. By taking care of ourselves first, we ensure that we have the strength and capacity to help others in a more meaningful and sustainable way. Learning to say no without guilt is a skill that takes time to develop. It requires recognizing our own needs and understanding that we have the right to prioritize our own well-being. It also means realizing that we cannot be everything to everyone, and that it's okay to let go of the idea that we must always be the one to help. There are times when the kindest thing we can do for someone is to allow them to handle their own struggles or to seek help from other sources. In the end, kindness is not about constantly sacrificing ourselves for others. It's about finding a balance between caring for others and caring for ourselves. It's about understanding that our own well-being is just as important as the well-being of those around us. When we stop being kind without boundaries, we can truly begin to experience the joy and fulfillment that comes from giving in a way that is sustainable, healthy, and rooted in self-respect. If we can learn to say no when we need to set limits on our time and energy, we will find that our kindness grows deeper and more impactful. We will have the strength to continue helping others, but from a place of strength, not depletion. So let's remember, kindness without boundaries can lead to burnout. Let's protect our energy, honor our needs, and continue to be kind in a way that nourishes both ourselves and the world around us. Kindness is often hailed as one of the most important qualities a person can possess. It's seen as an essential part of building meaningful relationships and contributing positively to the world around us. However, there's a subtle but critical aspect of kindness that is often overlooked: the idea that being kind should not mean sacrificing your own needs. We often feel compelled to prioritize the needs of others, sometimes to the detriment of our own health, happiness, and well-being. This can lead to feelings of resentment, exhaustion, and a sense of losing ourselves in the process. At the heart of this issue is the misunderstanding that kindness is about giving everything we have, regardless of the cost to ourselves. This notion stems from the belief that to be truly kind, we must put others before ourselves at all times. We may tell ourselves that being there for others, meeting their expectations, and fulfilling their needs is the ultimate act of love or compassion. However, this constant self-sacrifice can be dangerous. If we give too much of ourselves, there won't be enough left to take care of our own needs. It's essential to understand that self-care is not a selfish act. Taking time to care for your own needs physically, emotionally, and mentally is not in opposition to being kind to others. In fact, it's the foundation of being able to truly help those around you in a meaningful way. When we neglect our own needs, we can easily become depleted, unable to offer the same level of support or kindness that we are used to giving. Our kindness, instead of being a source of strength, becomes something that leaves us empty, unable to recharge. The sacrifice of our own needs can manifest in many ways. Sometimes it's in the form of giving up our time, constantly making ourselves available to others, regardless of our own schedule or commitments. It may mean putting aside our own goals or dreams to meet the demands of someone else. Other times it takes the shape of emotional labor, offering support to others, but not allowing ourselves the space to process our own emotions or experiences. This emotional exhaustion can be particularly damaging, as it erodes our capacity to be fully present and supportive to others. Additionally, many people feel a sense of guilt when they prioritize their own needs over others. We may fear that by saying no, we are being unkind, or that by focusing on our own well-being, we are somehow letting others down. This guilt is often rooted in a deep-seated belief that our worth is tied to how much we give and how much we do for others. We may internalize the idea that to be a good person, we must constantly serve, help, and please others. However, this mindset is not sustainable and can ultimately lead to burnout, anxiety, and a sense of frustration. The truth is, when we sacrifice our own needs for the sake of others, we may begin to lose touch with our authentic selves. Our sense of identity can become blurred, and we may find ourselves living for the approval of others rather than for our own fulfillment. Over time, this can result in a feeling of emptiness and inability to connect with our own desires and dreams. We may feel as though we are living on autopilot, doing what's expected of us without considering what we truly want or need. Recognizing the importance of prioritizing our own needs doesn't mean that we stop caring for others. On the contrary, it's about finding a balance between being there for those we love and ensuring that we are also giving ourselves the care and attention we deserve. By nurturing our own well-being, we increase our capacity to be present and supportive for others. We become more grounded, more balanced, and more able to offer help when it is truly needed. Setting boundaries is one of the most important ways to ensure that we are not sacrificing our needs for the sake of others. Boundaries allow us to protect our time, our energy, and our emotional health. They help us define what is acceptable and what is not, and they give us the space to say no when we need to. Boundaries are not about being unkind or unhelpful. They are about honoring our own needs while still being compassionate toward others. It is perfectly okay to recognize when we need rest, when we need time to reflect, or when we need to say no in order to preserve our own well-being. Another important aspect of prioritizing our own needs is recognizing that we are worthy of love and care, not just because of what we do for others, but because of who we are. Our value does not depend on our ability to always be there for others, to constantly give, or to meet every expectation placed upon us. We are worthy of kindness simply because we exist, and we must remind ourselves of this truth regularly. When we internalize this, it becomes easier to recognize that taking care of ourselves is not an act of selfishness, but an act of self-love. When we start to prioritize our own needs, we begin to see a shift in our relationships and in our own sense of self-worth. We feel more at peace, more energized, and more able to show up for others in a way that feels authentic and sustainable. We also start to set a powerful example for those around us. By taking care of ourselves, we show others that they too have the right to prioritize their own needs and well-being. In this way, we create a ripple effect of self-care and compassion that extends beyond ourselves, encouraging those we care about to do the same. Ultimately, kindness shouldn't mean sacrificing your own needs. True kindness is rooted in balance and ability to give to others while also honoring and nurturing ourselves. It's about recognizing that taking care of our own physical, emotional, and mental health is not only essential for our well-being, but it also enables us to give more to others. By prioritizing our own needs, we empower ourselves to show up for the people and causes that matter most to us from a place of strength and abundance, not depletion. Kindness is often viewed as an act of generosity, a selfless act meant to help others in times of need. It's something that binds us together as human beings, creating connections, fostering compassion, and providing support. However, while kindness is undoubtedly important, it's essential to recognize that true kindness doesn't merely provide temporary relief or act as a quick fix. True kindness inspires growth and development, not dependence. When we offer help to others, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that the most compassionate thing we can do is to immediately solve their problems or make things easier for them. We may offer material support, advice, or assistance that helps someone through a difficult moment, and while these acts of kindness can certainly provide relief, they may also inadvertently prevent someone from learning how to help themselves. In doing so, we run the risk of creating a cycle of dependence where the recipient feels unable to cope without our constant intervention. This is where the line between kindness and enabling becomes blurred. To illustrate this, consider a friend or family member who regularly asks for help with the same issue, whether it's a financial struggle, an emotional challenge, or a personal goal they have yet to achieve. Every time they face this difficulty, they come to you for support, and you willingly provide it. While your intention is to be kind and supportive, over time, this kind of assistance can prevent them from taking responsibility for their own situation. They may come to expect your help, relying on you to fix things for them, rather than taking the steps necessary to address the issue themselves. As a result, their growth and self-sufficiency may stagnate, and they may continue to depend on you rather than learning how to navigate their own challenges. True kindness, on the other hand, seeks to empower the other person, helping them build the skills, confidence, and resilience they need to face life's difficulties on their own. Rather than solving someone's problems for them, true kindness inspires them to find their own solutions. It encourages independence, growth, and personal development, ultimately leading to a stronger, more self-reliant individual. This doesn't mean withholding support when it's truly needed, but it does mean offering help in a way that encourages long-term growth rather than fostering a dependency on others. One of the most powerful ways to inspire growth through kindness is by teaching someone how to help themselves. This might involve offering guidance or advice that empowers them to take action, rather than simply providing the answer. For example, if someone is struggling with their finances, instead of just giving them money, you could help them develop a budget, encourage them to seek financial literacy resources, or help them identify ways to earn income or cut unnecessary expenses. Through this approach, you're not just solving their immediate problem, you're giving them the tools they need to address similar challenges in the future. By providing this kind of support, you're teaching them to fish rather than simply giving them the fish. In relationships, true kindness also means giving people the space to learn from their mistakes and take responsibility for their actions. Sometimes when we're trying to be kind, we may want to protect someone from the consequences of their choices, thinking that we're helping them by shielding them from pain. However, by doing so, we may rob them of the opportunity to learn and grow from their experiences. Making mistakes and facing the natural consequences of those mistakes is an important part of personal growth. True kindness involves allowing others to experience those moments, offering them support as they navigate the aftermath, but not taking away the lessons that come from facing their own choices. Moreover, true kindness also means encouraging and supporting others to step outside of their comfort zones. Growth happens when we challenge ourselves, push our limits, and take risks. While it's natural to want to protect loved ones from hardship or failure, it's important to remember that resilience and growth often come from facing adversity head on. True kindness involves supporting others as they take on challenges and encouraging them to try new things even when there's a risk of failure. It's about being their cheerleader, not their safety net. Another key aspect of inspiring growth rather than dependence is fostering a mindset of self-worth and independence in others. When we offer help in a way that empowers others to see their own strengths and abilities, we help them build a greater sense of self-confidence. When someone knows that they are capable of handling life's challenges, they are less likely to rely on others for help and more likely to develop the courage to tackle problems on their own. By offering encouragement, validation, and constructive feedback, we help others see their potential and cultivate their own sense of agency. True kindness also requires us to set healthy boundaries. While helping others is an important aspect of being kind, it's equally important to recognize when our help may be enabling someone's dependence. Sometimes we may need to step back and allow others to take responsibility for their own actions and decisions. By doing so, we not only preserve our own energy and resources, but also create an environment where others are encouraged to grow and take ownership of their lives. Setting boundaries doesn't mean we stop being kind. Rather, it's a way of offering kindness that is sustainable and focused on long-term growth, both for ourselves and for others. In essence, true kindness isn't about doing things for others to the point where they no longer need to take responsibility for their lives. It's about offering support that encourages independence, fosters personal growth, and helps people become stronger, more capable individuals. By focusing on empowering others and inspiring them to learn, adapt, and grow, we can offer a kindness that lasts far longer than any immediate fix. True kindness creates a ripple effect. Helping someone to grow in confidence and ability means they, in turn, can inspire and support others, creating a cycle of positive growth that extends far beyond the initial act of kindness. Kindness is often viewed as one of the most valuable qualities a person can have. It fosters goodwill, strengthens relationships, and builds connections. However, not all acts of kindness are created equal. There is a crucial distinction between being kind out of genuine compassion and being kind out of obligation, habit, or fear of confrontation. When kindness is not authentic, it ceases to be the powerful, transformative force that it can be. In fact, kindness without authenticity is not only ineffective, it can be detrimental to both the giver and the receiver. Authentic kindness comes from a place of genuine care, empathy, and desire to help without any expectation of reward or validation. It's a reflection of who we are as individuals, rooted in our values, our beliefs, and our capacity for understanding. When we act with authenticity, we are true to ourselves, and our kindness is both meaningful and impactful. However, when we act out of a sense of obligation or to appease others, our kindness loses its integrity and its true power is diminished. The problem with inauthentic kindness is that it often lacks sincerity. When we do something simply because we feel we should rather than because we truly want to, the person on the receiving end can sense it. People can tell when kindness is forced. They can feel the disconnect between the action and the emotions behind it. This lack of authenticity not only undermines the impact of the kindness, but it can also lead to misunderstandings, resentment, and disconnection. It's a form of kindness that feels hollow, and instead of fostering trust and goodwill, it can actually create distance between individuals. For example, consider the case of someone who frequently agrees to help others out of a sense of duty, even though they don't want to. Maybe they're constantly saying yes to requests for their time, attention, or energy, even when they are stretched thin and need time to themselves. While the act of helping may seem kind on the surface, if it's not authentic, it can lead to feelings of frustration and resentment. The person offering help may begin to feel overwhelmed and unappreciated, while the person receiving help may sense the lack of enthusiasm or genuine care behind the action. This type of kindness can actually strain relationships rather than strengthen them. Additionally, inauthentic kindness can create unrealistic expectations and set up unhealthy patterns. When we are not honest about our feelings or boundaries, we may unintentionally encourage others to rely on us in ways that aren't sustainable. For instance, agreeing to help someone with a project or task when we don't truly have the time or energy may give the impression that we are always available and willing, even when we're not. This can lead to others expecting constant help, which can cause us to feel trapped or overburdened. As a result, we might continue to offer help out of a sense of guilt or obligation, even though we no longer have the resources to do so effectively. Inauthentic kindness also undermines our own sense of self-respect. When we act out of obligation rather than genuine desire, we're ignoring our own needs and desires. We may be pleasing others at the expense of our own happiness or well-being. This can lead to a sense of disconnection from ourselves as we begin to prioritize others' needs over our own, even when doing so compromises our mental, emotional, or physical health. The constant pressure to be nice without being true to ourselves can create internal conflict and dissatisfaction. We might start to resent the very people we are trying to help, not because of their actions, but because we feel that we are not being true to who we are. The consequences of inauthentic kindness can extend beyond individual interactions and affect entire communities or organizations. When kindness is offered in a superficial or insincere way, it creates a culture of inauthenticity. People may begin to act out of duty rather than genuine care, leading to a lack of trust and mutual respect. In work environments, for instance, employees who feel that their efforts are being recognized out of obligation rather than genuine appreciation may begin to feel disengaged and demotivated. The culture of kindness becomes diluted, and its potential to create a supportive, collaborative, and positive environment is lost. Authenticity is key to cultivating meaningful kindness. Being authentic doesn't mean always saying yes or never saying no. It means being honest with ourselves and others about what we are capable of offering. It involves setting healthy boundaries, recognizing our limitations, and offering help in ways that feel aligned with our values and priorities. Authentic kindness stems from a place of honesty, transparency, and respect for both ourselves and others. It's about offering help when we genuinely want to, without feeling coerced or obligated. This way, our kindness is not only sustainable, but also deeply impactful. When we practice authentic kindness, we are more likely to create positive, genuine connections with others. People can feel the difference when kindness is heartfelt and sincere. It fosters trust, builds rapport, and strengthens relationships. Authentic kindness is not transactional or performative. It is a reflection of our true selves and our care for others. When we give in a way that feels real and true to who we are, we inspire others to do the same. We create a culture of compassion that is grounded in mutual respect, where kindness is not just a duty, but a natural extension of our shared humanity. In the end, kindness without authenticity is not helpful, for it lacks the depth and sincerity that make it truly transformative. Inauthentic acts of kindness can lead to frustration, burnout, and disconnection, both for the giver and the receiver. True kindness, on the other hand, inspires connection, growth, and trust. It is rooted in honesty, self-awareness, and a deep respect for both ourselves and others. By embracing authenticity in our kindness, we not only improve our own lives, but also enrich the lives of those around us. In a world that often encourages selflessness and service to others, it's easy to forget that kindness isn't just something we offer to those around us, it's something we deserve as well. Many of us are quick to give kindness, support, and compassion to friends, family, and even strangers. Yet, when it comes to extending that same level of care and understanding to ourselves, we can be much less generous. The truth is, we all deserve kindness, not just from others, but from ourselves. Learning to accept and give ourselves kindness is essential to our well-being, happiness, and personal growth. The first step in embracing the idea that you deserve kindness is recognizing that your worth isn't based on what you do for others or how much you sacrifice. We often fall into the trap of thinking that in order to be deserving of kindness, we must earn it. This mindset can leave us feeling exhausted, undervalued, and disconnected from ourselves. We may even convince ourselves that we should always put others first and that our needs should come last. However, the truth is that no one's worth is determined by their ability to serve others. We are all worthy of kindness simply because we exist, and we deserve to be treated with the same respect, love, and compassion that we offer to others. In many ways, we are our own harshest critics. We hold ourselves to higher standards than we do others, and we can be quick to judge ourselves for our mistakes, flaws, and shortcomings. We often overlook our own achievements and the hard work we put into our lives. This constant self-criticism can wear us down and prevent us from recognizing our own value. When we fail to show ourselves kindness, we're depriving ourselves of the emotional support that we need to thrive. Kindness towards ourselves is a practice that requires us to treat ourselves with the same care and understanding that we would offer a close friend. It means being gentle with ourselves during difficult times and celebrating our successes, no matter how small they may seem. Another reason why many people struggle with accepting kindness is because of guilt. Some may feel that they are not deserving of kindness due to past mistakes, failures, or perceived flaws. They might believe that in order to earn kindness, they must achieve perfection or meet certain expectations. This mindset is incredibly limiting and harmful. The truth is, kindness is not conditional. It isn't something we need to prove ourselves worthy of. It is something that should be given freely to ourselves and to others. Just as we would offer kindness to a friend who is going through a tough time, we deserve the same level of compassion and understanding when we face challenges or feel down. There is no need to earn kindness or prove our worth. It's something that belongs to everyone, simply by being human. When we fail to recognize that we deserve kindness, we may also fail to set healthy boundaries. Boundaries are essential in maintaining our mental, emotional, and physical well-being. They help us protect our time, energy, and emotions from being drained by the demands of others. Without boundaries, we may find ourselves overextended, overwhelmed, and resentful, leading to burnout. By accepting that we deserve kindness, we also recognize that it's okay to say no when necessary and to prioritize our own needs. Setting boundaries is an act of kindness toward ourselves, as it allows us to maintain balance in our lives and prevent ourselves from being depleted by the demands of others. One of the most powerful aspects of kindness is its ability to foster self-love. When we show ourselves kindness, we reinforce the idea that we are worthy of care, attention, and respect. Self-love is not about being narcissistic or self-centered. It's about acknowledging our own humanity and treating ourselves with dignity. It means being kind to ourselves even when we make mistakes or face setbacks. It involves forgiving ourselves for past mistakes and giving ourselves permission to grow and evolve. Self-love is not a destination. It's an ongoing practice that allows us to build a deeper connection with ourselves and cultivate a sense of inner peace. When we love ourselves, we are more capable of showing love and kindness to others. Learning to accept kindness from others is also an important aspect of this journey. Many people struggle with receiving kindness, often brushing it off or feeling unworthy of it. We may feel awkward when someone offers us a compliment or does something nice for us. However, accepting kindness graciously is just as important as giving it. When we accept kindness, we open ourselves to the possibility of connection, support, and love. By receiving kindness, we allow ourselves to feel cared for and valued. It also creates a ripple effect, encouraging others to continue spreading kindness in the world. When we graciously accept kindness, we are also giving others the opportunity to feel good about their own actions. Kindness to ourselves also plays a key role in our mental health. In times of stress, anxiety, or depression, we may find it difficult to be kind to ourselves. Negative self-talk and self-judgment can exacerbate our feelings, making us feel more isolated and overwhelmed. In these moments, it is crucial to practice self-compassion. This might mean taking a break when we feel burned out, reaching out for support when we need it, or simply acknowledging our feelings without judgment. Practicing kindness toward ourselves in these moments can help us build resilience, reduce stress, and improve our overall well-being. It is in these times of difficulty that we most need to remind ourselves that we are deserving of care and kindness. Ultimately, the practice of showing ourselves kindness is not just about making us feel good in the moment. It's about laying the foundation for a healthy, fulfilling life. When we consistently treat ourselves with kindness, we build a strong sense of self-worth, resilience, and emotional well-being. We become better equipped to handle life's challenges and show up for the people we care about. Self-kindness is not an indulgence, it is a vital part of leading a balanced and healthy life. By recognizing that we deserve kindness, we give ourselves the freedom to live authentically, take care of our needs, and cultivate a deeper sense of love and compassion, both for ourselves and others. Authentic kindness, though often well-intentioned, can inadvertently harm the very individuals it seeks to help. While kindness is typically seen as a positive force that fosters goodwill and nurtures relationships, when it lacks authenticity, it can have unintended consequences, particularly in terms of stunting the growth and independence of others. It may feel good in the moment, but in the long run, inauthentic kindness can create a cycle of dependency, limiting individuals' ability to navigate their own challenges and develop the skills necessary to thrive on their own. At its core, kindness is about offering support, compassion, and assistance to others. It is about helping people through difficult times and providing encouragement when they need it most. However, the manner in which we offer that kindness is crucial. True kindness is empowering. It helps people build confidence, solve problems, and become more self-sufficient. In contrast, inauthentic kindness may come from a place of discomfort or obligation, and it often involves offering help that isn't truly needed or that is done without consideration of the other person's long-term well-being. When kindness is offered out of a sense of guilt, fear, or a desire to avoid conflict, it can ultimately prevent individuals from learning how to help themselves. One of the most harmful ways in which inauthentic kindness undermines growth is by fostering dependency. When someone is repeatedly helped, even when they haven't asked for help, or when the help they receive is excessive and unnecessary, they may begin to rely on others rather than developing the skills or confidence to handle situations independently. For example, consider a situation in which a parent consistently solves their child's problems, whether it's doing their homework, handling their social issues, or managing their finances. While the intention may be to protect or support the child, the result is that the child never learns to face challenges on their own. Instead of developing resilience and problem-solving abilities, the child learns that someone will always step in to fix things. As they grow older, they may struggle to handle situations independently, constantly seeking out help and reassurance from others. Similarly, in professional environments, employees who are constantly shielded from challenges or given answers without being encouraged to think critically may fail to develop important skills. A manager who always provides solutions rather than guiding their team to find them may hinder the employee's ability to think creatively, troubleshoot, or make decisions on their own. This kind of inauthentic kindness may be seen as helpful in the short term, but in the long run, it undermines the growth of the individual. People need opportunities to face challenges, make mistakes, and learn from them in order to grow and become more self-reliant. By offering kindness that doesn't foster independence, we deny others the chance to develop these vital skills. Another way in which inauthentic kindness limits growth is by preventing individuals from experiencing the natural consequences of their actions. It's easy to want to protect others from failure or discomfort, but failure is often one of the most powerful teachers. When we shield others from facing the consequences of their actions, we rob them of the opportunity to learn from their mistakes. For instance, if a person consistently gets help with tasks they are fully capable of doing themselves, they may never learn how to prioritize, manage time, or complete work independently. Similarly, if someone is constantly bailed out of financial difficulties, they may never learn to budget effectively or make better financial choices. True kindness, rather than shielding someone from discomfort, encourages them to face challenges head-on and learn from the process. Authentic kindness can also create a sense of entitlement or dependency. When help is offered too freely or without consideration of the other person's actual needs, they may come to expect assistance every time they face a challenge, even when they are fully capable of handling the situation themselves. This can be damaging not only to the individual who receives the help, but also to the person offering it. Over time, the person offering inauthentic kindness may feel burdened or frustrated, especially if their efforts are unappreciated or expected. In some cases, the person being helped may not even realize the impact of their actions, leading to a sense of entitlement and an inability to appreciate the value of their own hard work and achievements. This dynamic can strain relationships, create resentment, and prevent individuals from learning the importance of self-reliance. True kindness, on the other hand, recognizes when help is truly needed and when it's better to step back and allow others to take the reins. It is thoughtful, considerate, and aimed at empowering the other person. True kindness encourages people to face their own challenges, make their own decisions, and learn from their experiences. It might involve offering guidance, providing encouragement, or helping someone navigate a difficult decision, but it does not involve taking over or doing the work for them. By stepping back and allowing others to take the lead, we create space for them to develop their own skills, build resilience, and ultimately become more self-sufficient. Inauthentic kindness also tends to stem from an inability to set healthy boundaries. People who constantly offer help out of a sense of obligation or guilt may struggle to say no or may feel responsible for solving others' problems. This can create a cycle of overcommitting, burnout, and resentment. When we are unable to set boundaries in our relationships, we not only harm ourselves but also prevent others from taking responsibility for their own lives. Healthy boundaries allow us to offer help in a way that is sustainable and empowering rather than enabling dependency. In the long run, inauthentic kindness creates an imbalance in relationships, prevents growth, and diminishes the value of the support that is offered. It's important to remember that true kindness is about helping others grow, not simply solving their problems for them. It's about encouraging independence, supporting them as they learn, and empowering them to face life's challenges on their own. By offering kindness that fosters growth, self-sufficiency, and resilience, we create more meaningful, supportive relationships and contribute to the development of individuals who are capable of navigating the world with confidence and independence.